Hello, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this new moon in March to a full moon next in April. I am your reader, Mark Angela Lyons Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and very happy to be doing this. Happy birthday, birth month, my Aries Sun signs. I'm actually doing this on Ostara, on the vernal equinox, the first day of spring, when the sun moves into the 0 degree of Aries. So very, very honored, privileged, happy to be working from my home, safe and snug as a little witch bug in a little witch rug, here in beautiful verdant green Long Island. A little overcast today. Very glad to be inside with a nice big old wonder mug of coffee and doing these reads. Back from Saratoga. Just did your guys' soulmate read, which is already up already. So shall we move ahead? New business, first sign of the zodiac. Let's do this. This is a new moon to full moon read, right? A what do I need read, which is really a card draw more than a spread. I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks. So we're only going to have 7 cards, one from each deck. And one of them, the new deck that I got while I was in Saratoga, the Angels, Goddesses, and Gods deck. So let's see how this all goes. We are looking at, I wrote down the dates here, right, March 24th to April 7th, just so you know. So that is a new moon in Aries, full moon in Libra, opposite signs. That's how that rolls. And remember, this is a general read. Take what resonates. How do you know? Because it's depends on when you watch it, right? But particularly in terms of vibration, how it feels to you, pay attention and check your other signs. That's why I'm doing Sun, Moon, Rising. Cool. And if we focus on our breath as we go, we'll all be in the present moment. I already said my prayers. I've already been counseling people over the phone and on Facebook Messenger all day on my breaks. But hey, that's the state of the world we're in right now, and that's just fine. Sorry, I just got an old REM lyric in my head and I'm not singing it out loud, but if you're Generation X, you get the I feel fine reference. So let's feel fine for my lovely Rams. You ready? Take a nice deep breath. Let's pull one card from each deck and see what my pantheons say you might need this new moon to full moon next. Nice deep breath, please. Oh, the angels. Hello, my angels. Please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective. Sun, Moon, Rising sign for this full moon, this new moon to full moon next, March to Aries 2020, please. What is it that they need to be aware of, right? What is it that you need to be aware of? Chances are you might be isolated at home or out in the world. You might be a little hyper-vigilant, Aries, that you are, which is a good thing in certain situations. So please, my angels, what do they need? What do they need to be aware of this new moon to full moon next? Particularly, it's going to be new moon in your sign. Spiritual growth. Excellent. So you're off to a good start. Not that any of these cards really suck to start off with the angels. But that spiritual growth, just be aware that whatever it is that you're going through, that there is a growth happening within your spiritual life. Now, when we over-focus too much on what's going on in the physical world, which we kind of have to right now, it's sort of like gaining or losing weight. It happens gradually, so you don't notice it until either you catch yourself in the mirror one day going, or someone mentions it to you. So just be aware, you are going to wax, right, new moon to full moon. You're going to grow spiritually quite a bit. And what that means for each person is different, like in terms of spiritual growth. I often check where I am on spiritual growth about how I get triggered about certain things from my past, right? Have I healed? Well, do I get upset when I think about it? Do I get emotionally triggered? Am I responding with love more than reacting from fear? But we all have our own individual ways of finding that. So if you are doing prayer meditation in your quiet, isolated time, as it may be, not for everybody, but as it may be, keep an eye on that the angels are saying, be aware of your spiritual growth because there's huge potential for it. Remember, we have free will, whether or not we want to go for it. Let's ask the goddesses. The divine feminine collective that I call the goddesses through the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. By the way, this is the Healing with the Angels Oracle deck. All the decks that I read are in the description box below. at the bottom. Boy, go away for a few days and you forget your own spiel. Let's ask the goddesses, shall we? Breathe. Ah, my goddesses, please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective. Sun, moon, rising signs. What do they need this new moon to full moon next? New moon in Aries to full moon in Libra. March to April 2020. Please, my divine feminines, my goddesses, what do they need to be aware of? What do they need to wax this new moon to full moon next? The Gemini card. Now, this can mean be aware of a Gemini or be aware of Gemini energy. And certainly if you have any planet, sun, moon, or rising, I would think, because that's what we're covering here. I mean, you could look Venus too, to be aware if you have any planets in Gemini. But otherwise, if you're not dealing with literal Gemini people or within yourself, we're looking at third house energies about self-expression, gathering information, mutable air, changing your mind. And particularly with spiritual growth, it can be a time where you go through so much growth spiritually that you have to start gathering new information either from within or from without to support that. It's sort of like when you outgrow a pair of shoes, your old beliefs, you know, it gets uncomfortable. So there might be some old thoughts and belief patterns that are shedding very quickly. I know that's happening for a lot of us, mass amounts of it happening on the planet. So there might be that thing about being able to change your mind, or at least change the way that you see things, right? So turn the other cheek, right? Like totally see it differently that way, so to speak. Yeah? Coming from the divine feminine, though, my sense is that's going to have a direct that awareness will have a direct effect on your emotions and your intuition in that way. Just kind of picked up on that as well. Does make sense, right? That some of the things, like I always say, like if someone doesn't believe in ghosts or spirits or any of that stuff, and one day one appears to them in the bathroom at night, it totally changes, you know, the way they think. But will they go with that change? Will they continue to collect information, follow what's being shown to them, or at least express yourself? Remember, Gemini is also communication, self-expression, third house. Let's ask the gods. Through the Mythic Tarot, the divine masculine, the other half of the universal energy. Breathe. My gods, please, one card in clarity for the Aries collective, sun, moon, rising signs. What do they need to be aware of this new moon to full moon next? New moon in Aries, their sign, certainly great time for them to initiate anything. Divine masculine energy that it is, element of fire, cardinal creative fire. So what do they need to be aware of, my gods, this new moon to full moon next in Libra? Five of Swords. Interesting. You got a lot of air energy here between the divine feminine and the divine masculine, but I think we're aware that fives are numbers of change, and this is Gemini, mutable air, changeable air. Now, people will immediately interpret the fives as disruptive, and that might be true, and in this time, certainly that is the case, because when we discover that we have outgrown a belief system or a way of thinking, it can create a moment or two or longer of, when I say mental imbalance, I don't mean like mental imbalance, but just like walking, you have to take one foot out of the known, and you get that split second in the unknown before the foot touches down again, right? That slight shift from one thought system to another. But keeping in mind spiritual growth, that's the larger arc the angels are giving you here, archangels, that you are definitely in a place of growth, but that it is affecting what makes sense for Aries, the head area, the mental world, even though you are a fire sign, where mental energy is air. So a lot of air energy here with the spiritual growth. Anything that you are studying or reading or focusing upon, make sure that you're kind of communicating yourself to somebody who understands to help you process, because the Five of Swords, it sometimes takes a little while to shake that stuff out spiritually, right? Because other perspectives are always helpful. Well, are they always helpful? Sometimes they're always helpful in that we really say it's like, no, I'm not feeling that at all. And maybe that's part of this divine feminine Gemini thing, is to feel it out as well, all the information that comes by. A little vague, but let's see, we've got other cards. Particularly this new deck that I really like. It's called the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses. Yeah, the Angels, Gods, and Goddesses Oracle for guidance and the answers to your questions. Well, we'll just see about that. I've only used it once so far in one of the super chats that I did once I first got it. Got it at the Magic Moon in Saratoga Springs. I know I always plug them. I adore them. Veronica and the staff. It was good to be there. That's like my home away from home when I'm away from home. So, this will be a combination of the angels, the goddesses, and the gods. The last 3 cards that we went, sort of summing them all up, which is where I got them. Here we go. Nice deep breath. This will be my first card draw for a recorded reading for this stuff. Here we go. My pantheons of angels, goddesses, and gods, please, 1 card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need this new moon in Aries to full moon in Libra, March to April 2020, please? Please give us a card, one of the angels, one of the goddesses, or one of the gods, as you see fit, please, for this new moon to full moon. Next. I love oracle cards. It's all written down for you. Well, you got the Angel of Pleasure. Take pleasure in the things you do. All right, it's a little direct. I kind of like these. There's some of them I'm like, hey, that's a little bit forward. You don't know me, but I kind of like this one. Of course I would. I'm a hedonist archetype. Angel of Pleasure. Take pleasure in the things that you do. Now, considering, I don't know everybody's situation, but I know so many of us are isolating. We are pulling back from the world. We all know why, so let's just leave it there. So perhaps this will be a very pleasurable experience, that this 5 of Swords need not be as traumatic as one would think, because it is an aspect of spiritual growth. Now, I'll be the first to say, we usually grow spiritually more through our suffering than our joy, because we're always chasing joy and running away from our suffering. And there's a lot of it going on in the world, particularly if you are a first waver, divine, feminine, empathic, energy sensitive, who's what's us, right? But then there's this thing that if you change the way that you're thinking about this, that there can be a lot of pleasure, but to call upon the help of the angels, the goddesses, and the gods for that. So you don't just go, trying, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Like, make the prayer. That's a really good aspect of third house self-expression, particularly if your mind is going through a lot of change. And again, mutable air, changeable air, transforming air. But to call upon and contemplate the angel of pleasure, that so much pleasure can be conjured when the mind is in flow and alignment with the soul. Just saying. Cool. All right, we already got 4 down. We only got 3 left. These will be quickies, all right? Let's ask your higher selves what's going on, shall we? Nice deep breath. Oh, the higher selves of all involved. Please, please, pretty please. 1 card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need to be aware of this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra? Please, a direct communication, a whisper of love from the Whisper of Love Oracle for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising. The union of hearts. There is a connection of love that defies explanation. Now, yes, you can certainly connect this, pair this to another person. We usually tend to think romantic with cards like this, but it doesn't necessarily say the union of hearts is purely romantic, even though the dryads are making out with each other. This can certainly be between you and any type of loved one, right? Even fur babies I consider to be that kind of union of hearts. I certainly have that with my kitty cats. But also with the spiritual growth here. And this Gemini card of your mind sort of changing expressing that, gathering information. There's just a lot of changing in your thought processes here with the angel of pleasure. This could be a meditative, mystical experience lining up for you to be aware that that this union of hearts might be your heart unified with the unified field, or your heart unified with all hearts, and that it defies explanation, right? So even if you try to go, I can't explain it, that's okay, right? That's mysticism for you. That's the path of mystery, where you're like, I thought this, and then this happened, and, years later, you get a different perspective on it. But seek ye not reason. The divine does not truck in reason. The divine trucks in purpose, which maybe sometimes we see in retrospect. Location, 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 right? Let's ask the Ascended Masters. They have the last two cards. One we will get you from, of course, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. I gave them a rest for the soulmate reads. 4 suits in this deck. The Problem, which is half the deck, the Problem suit, the Luck suit, the Healing suit, and the Grace suit. So let's see what the Ascended Masters say about all of this in terms of what you need to be aware of. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please, good, bad, or indifferent. 1 card in clarity for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. What do they need to be aware of this new moon in Aries, their sign, to full moon next in Libra, their opposite, my Masters, please. Oh, I feel that one. That one really poked my fingers. What do you need to be aware of? Withdrawal. Now, that's not the kind of withdrawal like, oh, I gave up coffee and now I'm getting caffeine withdrawal headaches. This is to be aware that you are withdrawing. Distancing yourself from people or something. But that this is what? An opportunity for spiritual growth, so that you can have a change of mind, see things differently, right? To experience, even on some emotional, spiritual level, a union of hearts that will bring, that the angel of pleasure there, right? Take pleasure in the things that you do, but how much of that is in the mind? Like, let's just say you're not going to leave your house for a little while, an indeterminate amount of time, and there are things that you have to do, right? Like around the house that you've been putting off. Well, maybe you change the way you think about that by asking the divine to do this through me, and let's make this fun. And if nobody else is watching, why not? Put on a party hat while you're doing whatever you got to do to get through, right? But that's really lovely. I like that withdrawal card, because I'm not getting that feeling of, just withdrawing and being independent and not, dealing, I want to be alone, right? Which is lovely. I'm a hermit. I fucking get it. But this is more taking time to yourself, even though it is a problem card, and all these people at the top of the hill are saying to the dude at the bottom, come on. You're like, no, 6 feet minimum. Just saying. Watch how I dodge the subject without actually omitting it completely. Why? Because I like you. M-O-U-S-E. Okay, one last card down, and you know what it is. If you've been watching my channel since, early December, you know that I've been using the Healing Mantra deck, DECK, by Matt Kahn, because it's been incredibly helpful for myself and for so many of my clients and my subscribers and all of that. So let's get you a healing mantra from the Ascended Masters. We're double dipping on the Masters, but then again, we double dipped on the angels, the gods and the goddesses, sorta. We just didn't double dip on the higher self. I gotta get another deck for the voices of the higher self. You could use anything, really. Let's do this. Breathe. Lovely. The Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity for this Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What is the perfect healing mantra for them? What is the healing mantra, the energy, the mastery that they need to be aware of for this new moon in Aries to full moon next in Libra from March to April 2020, please? Oh, Come on, shake out. That's 2. I can tell. No, I'm not taking it if it's 2. They're like, we're not responsible for the creases in your thumbs. They're right. They're not. I am. Please, my masters. There we go. For the Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising. I'll read from the bookie book for you real quick. Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in the way. Here we go. Only my beliefs are in the way, right? Let me read it to you quick, and then I'll put it all together for you, the puzzle pieces. That's pretty cool. I mean, with all the air going on here, this does make sense. Deconstructing doubt. Only my beliefs are in my way, or the way, are in my way. Only my beliefs are in my way. As you deconstruct doubt, you are no longer lost in the concerns and curiosities of what if, oh, I wonder what that could be about, but are more rooted in the truth of what is. When doubt is deconstructed, hardship is no longer a sign of misfortune. It is an opportunity to step outside your comfort zone and meet the higher aspects of soul, spiritual growth, that exist just beyond the boundary of the self. This mantra is ideal for aligning with truth, being more self-actualized, Aries, that's sort of your thing, and transforming inferiority. Only my beliefs are in my way. So I'm just going to pair these two immediately. This spiritual growth with deconstructing doubts. Only my beliefs are in my way, which completely goes with the goddesses talking about this Gemini energy, about changing your mind and seeing things differently, expressing yourself differently, new information coming in, and certainly that might create a little chaotic change in the belief system as things shake out and, I guess, shake in. But as you go through your withdrawal, and again, I'm feeling more of the positive side of that, of like pulling back. Like, you don't have to immediately express all of this stuff to everybody. It's okay to take space for yourself, but if you're feeling isolated, remember there is a union of hearts here. A love that defies, there is a connection of love that defies explanation, and maybe you are experiencing a bit more fifth dimensional unity consciousness. There's a lot of fear on the planet right now. Every light worker, healer, witch, and angel I know is working their asses off in the energy fields, right? Healing their own selves, praying for everybody. So maybe there's great big huge unity consciousness dawning for the Aries Sun, Moon, Rising signs. And remember, it doesn't have to be such a hard thing. That the angel of pleasure is working with you on this. That if you really go with the thoughts that feel good in the body, but that particularly relax you, right? That allow the nervous system to de-stress, to relax a little bit, then there is a much, much better chance of you actually enjoying this new moon to full moon next for March to April 2020. Cool, cool. Well, guess what? That's what I see for you. That's called a quickie, and with me, it is never a quickie. It's always a longie. I love you all so much, my Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. May you be blessed with all that you need this new moon to full moon next, from Aries new to Libra full, for the well-being of all. May we all be blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment below if you have any insight that I might have missed there from your own point of view, right? I do the best I can for a collective. Not everything suits everybody 24/7. And let us not forget, happy birthday, my Aries Sun signs. I love you all so very much. But for now, hail, farewell, and blessed be.